Good morning. You've hopped on to daily routines to build your family's immunity this summer. Good morning, Taryn. How are you doing? This is actually the continuation of a periscope loop that some friends and I did around the beginning of June about how to build your family's immunity during the summer. That was a really fun thing to do. The first person who scoped on that one, if you want to watch it again, is at Lizzie Loves Health. And then there were 5 of us that went every 15 minutes and talked about 10 ways that you can build your family's immunity this summer. So today what we're going to talk about is being able to establish habits so that we can make these things part of our routine. So the key is we want to be able to build our immunity this summer, so by the time the fall comes, we are ready, our bodies are strong, and we're not succumbing to the same sickness that most other families are, especially families with kids. So today there'll be 4 of us scoping together, one after another. I have 15 minutes, so I've got my little clock here for the first time while I'm scoping so that I can actually make sure I'm done in my 15 minutes. So we're going to build on that knowledge that we talked about, how to get healthier. It's great to get all excited about it, but then we've got to have ways to incorporate it into our lifestyle. And I like to teach classes on this, and one of the things that I've done is I've created a handout where I talk about some of the different ways you can stay healthy with oils and supplements, and it gives some different areas and some options of oils or supplements that you can use. That was kind of the first step for me, is finding, okay, what are the things I want to do in my routine to be healthier, to make my body stronger. And then recently I did the same thing for kids, much simpler of course, and very few options under there, but it really doesn't matter. This is the same for kids. We need to build routines for them. And I don't know how you are, but I don't want to have to think about something every single day. I want it to be automatic. I want it to be in my routine so that I am consistent with doing it most of the time. So one of my hints is to be able to leave the things that I'm going to use out in the room where I use them. Now especially, know what you can email me and I'll be happy to share it. My email is in the profile here. So one of the ways I like to leave things out is in a nice little container like this, so it doesn't look like you're just letting stuff sit out like that. If you do have oils, you're going to have to be careful because you don't want kids having free access to just any oil. Now I know doTERRA makes these wonderful little touch oil kits, and this is already diluted for kids, so there can be no sensitivity, no anything. But another thing that I've done is I have these for my grandkids. This is the whole touch kit, all the oils, and they're in a zippered container. So a little one probably is not going to be able to get into that. So just keep that in mind. But still, it's better to have things out where you use them. Now I have a place where I store things like that, my oils and supplements, but if they stay in that cabinet, I am never going to be using them. So for me, I've got to have them out so I see them. And that helps tremendously. So if you want your kids and yourself to drink a cup of water in the morning, I like to be able to go ahead and set that out on the counter, maybe even the night before. Set out the glasses so you remember, okay, we're going to fill cups of water and everybody's going to drink water in the morning. Another thing is being able to take your vitamins. I still will forget unless I set them out maybe the night before. And that helps me remember, because when I'm fixing breakfast, then my vitamin packet is sitting right there. Another thing that is very helpful is stacking your routines. So you want to look at what you normally do. Well, you eat breakfast every day. So what parts of those items in your building your healthy immunity can you do at breakfast time? Drink your water. Take your vitamins or supplements, maybe even use another kind of oil or something else that you need to help your body in another area. So doing that at breakfast is going to help you because it all happens at once. Yes, the habits and routine stacking. I mean, for me, it's essential because I just don't think of these things on my own, and I don't like to have to be all stressed out about it. Another option is the stacking of routines at bedtime for the kids. Okay, even if you don't give them a bath every night, you're probably going to go in the bathroom, have them go to the bathroom, brush their teeth, do that kind of stuff. So if you're wanting to roll some immunity oil on their feet, that is a great time to do it, a great place to keep it, and go ahead and put socks on after you roll oils on them. And then you're going to make sure you do it. Because ladies, this does not happen unless we're actually doing these things. If we just have the head knowledge and don't incorporate it into our routine, then it's not going to be effective for us. So it's always easier to piggyback a new routine onto something that you've already got. Another option is to do these things together. Now, if you know me, you know I am notorious for doing that. In fact, I have these little vitamin packets, and instead of opening my 6 bottles of vitamins every single day and taking out 1 capsule, I go ahead and fill these little plastic packets for the month. Then all I got to do is pull it out for the day and it's ready. I can take it in the car while I'm driving. I can take it with my breakfast, whatever. Now I know my friend Lisa, Lizzie Loves Health, she has the best way of doing this. She's got the little weekly vitamin container for her kids, and she actually lets them fill up their vitamins for the week. And then in the morning, of course, they open it and they take their vitamin out. This is fun for them, and the responsibility is on the kids, which is awesome. Then you can also tell whether they've had their vitamin or not, which is important because, you know, they may say they have and they haven't, so you've got it in these containers marked by the day so you know whether they've taken it or not. Okay, so it really cuts down on your work if you're doing things together all at once. Like if you're doing your water in the morning, you have water poured in everybody's glass, you're putting in oil or some kind of supplement in that water, and you're taking care of everything all at once rather than each person coming in one at a time and you fixing their water. So I just want to stress to you that consistency is so important. If you want to be able to take a step forward in your family's health, if you want to be able to do some things this summer when the schedule is low, when things aren't so busy, to establish habits and routines that you can take through the season where sickness normally is very prevalent, then you've got to work on it and be consistent about it. If you establish some new habits, be sure to give yourself some grace. Don't get all upset if you're missing it sometimes. The thing you want to look for is that you are more consistent than not. For instance, what characterizes you? Are you characterized by being on schedule or being off schedule? Are you characterized by following these different routines or by being off and not following them? So whatever characterizes you is the most important. Anybody have any questions on the stuff we've just talked about? I really encourage you to go ahead and pick my brain. I'm glad to share these things. I love habits. I love routines. I am a person of routine in just about everything I do. And that's my secret to staying consistent, which is very helpful. Again, if you want to go back and look at those 10 habits, if you'll start with at Lizzie Loves Health from earlier, I think it was June 1st that we did that, then you'll see her 15-minute talk about the 10. Oh, thank you, Anna. Good to see you. And then follow at the end which scoper comes next. And fortunately, on Periscope now, they are saving all of our scopes. So since, maybe 2 weeks ago or so, they're saving all the scopes. So whatever habits and routines you develop, they have to be sustainable for you. You cannot be doing something that isn't going to work for you just because Susie Smith does it and it works for her family. So each of you is individual and need to decide what's best for your family and what will work in your schedule. But do something that will motivate you to be able to continue these routines. My husband always says little things done consistently over a long period of time produce great results. And that's exactly what we're talking about with these 10 habits. The 10 habits were awesome. So many different areas that we can improve in. And I really believe that summertime is a better time to begin to establish those habits. You can have routines and habits in the summer, even though the schedule is a little bit looser. And I believe it's easier to establish it then. So when you get into the busy season, you've already got it established. So whatever part of your routine you want to be able to put into your schedule, create that and make it easy enough that you can sustain it, that it will be reflexive, that it will happen automatically. We are in the middle of moving, so it's been hard to create good habits. Oh, I feel for you. I understand that. Very, very difficult. But you know, if you've got a certain place in the house where some of the things are not getting packed, certain area of the kitchen counter, that does help. Any advice to keep consistent with the inconsistency of babies in the mix? I'm going to say this, and it's probably really funny, but I set alarms on my phone. If there are things that I'm having to build into my routine that I cannot remember, I will actually just put an alarm on my phone. The alarm comes up, reminds me what to do, and it works. Now, again, if you're somewhere where you don't want your phone going off, you have to be concerned about looking at those alarms and shutting them off, even though you're silencing your phone, but that helps very, very much. Other than that, leave things out where you can see them until you build it so reflexively into your routine. Me too, it's my brain. It is. We moms are busy. I say that, I have no kids home with me anymore, but we are busy. We have so many things in our mind, and we've got to be able to focus on the things that we feel like are most important. So those are my suggestions on how to build your routine. Again, if you want these sheets on options for supplements and oils for a daily routine for yourself and for kids, feel free to email me. That email's in the profile. And I've got a few minutes left if anybody has questions. Oh, goodness. Okay, and the next scoper will be Blueberries and Boys, Beth, and she'll be continuing our discussion here. I think she's actually going to get more into the family's morning routine, which should be really exciting, especially since she has little kids. She's right where it's at. She can give you some great ideas on how you can build these routines into your family. So thanks, you guys. Glad you joined us. And have a great day. I hope you go ahead and follow this all the way through for the 4 different scopers. It'll be done at 9:30. Thank you.